sorry I missed last week's episode with some of the biggest news in the last 3 years.
I mean, it's still dominating the headlines now.
It
All
is.
this new stuff that's coming out now, so it's starting to look more and more like he, probably going to be found guilty for a lot of bad stuff. Might go further than just sexual fantasies that he likes.
Yeah, and we don't. We only know what we read or whatever. But if they're going as far as like pulling all of Lesnar's merchandise down, all of his likeness, like that's a problem as well. Like, so it's fuck, man. How many more people? I'm surprised they haven't Richard
the hammer's going to drop.
Like
apparently, there's going to be a lot of more names. They said if it's not publicly announced already in the lawsuit, or for whatever reason, they said that they're going to basically blow the lid on the names.
Yeah,
of who's involved.
The scary thing and what I missed and what I wanted to talk about last week when it was on was I thought the timing was very funny because someone allowed it to break after all the deals were signed and all the money came in. So it's like whether TKO had a hand in that or the victim had a hand in waiting till everything was done, or the Wall Street Journal did, or any of that stuff. But then I thought they wouldn't have let Vince McMahon be at the opening of the New York Stock Exchange the day before. So I don't know about that or how coordinated that was. But it's just very funny that as soon as the money and all the ink's dry and everything, then the article came out and Dwayne joining the board the day before. But the biggest thing for me now is, and they're going to peel these layers, is you just think back to the time when Stephanie left. You think back to the time they had their WWE had the big internal investigation before the board decided to get rid of Vince before he came back and pulled that power move. They know everything. They talk to all these people. They know how deep it gets, and they've known it, and they've been dreading this moment and trying to contain this moment, and who knows if they're going to be able to and how far it will kind of go. It's not good.
You know what I was thinking, and I'm just purely speculating at this point because that's all everybody's doing right now. But man, if Triple H gets named as somebody who knew about it and covered it up,
I hope not.
Like, what's gonna happen? Like, you know what I mean? Like, look, I'm not trying to be selfish, but they're just gonna put they're gonna put someone in there that doesn't know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah,
and WWE is just gonna become trash. Like, it's just gonna be so bad to watch.
You still have the hope that HBK. I mean, I hope not. I hope none of them. I really hope not.
What if they all are, named as people who knew, at least not who participated, but people who
Yeah.
If they could prove that they knew about it, they're all gone, right. And all gone forever. By the way, no more. This is weird. This is scary.
And here's the thing, man. It's a carny industry. It's all just a carnival. And yes, it was $1 billion industry, but 25 years ago, they're all just carnies, right? They're all just doing this terrible thing on the road. They're all just plowed with drugs and steroids and booze, and
they would tell stories about Jake Roberts' dad too. Remember, it was
oh yeah, dude.
Even Cornette would talk about it. He's like, I'm ashamed to talk about it. We all knew that Jake Roberts' dad, Grizzly Smith, was with underage girls. He would bring them around.
Yeah,
and everyone ignored it. They just didn't talk to him when he came around with, oh hey, and did it. But they're like, we all knew, and it's
if Triple H knew, but I mean, I would say Cornette and all the people that knew about that, then that makes you no better than Triple H. If Triple H knew
anyone in the inner circle, right? Look at Bruce.
Yeah,
because everyone's gonna have all those people are gonna have their opinions on it, and they're I know they're already ripping Vince. Understandably why. I mean, unless he gets proven
why did
he's
Kevin
not guilty,
Dunn just leave 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, see, it's all
Vince's right hand.
All the pieces
to make a little light of the subject, but I know it's not. It's just all you can do is kind of laugh. Who's having the best week of his life? This guy.
Let me see.
Yeah.
He's just. I mean, he was. We called him. For the majority, people call him conspiracy theorist and all this stuff or whatever. Oh, shut up! You're just jealous that you got fired or you didn't work or you didn't get over after blah blah blah. And then now he's he's coming on every day now. He's like, I told you all. I told you. They're all gonna fall, and that's what makes me nervous. Is he's saying Bruce Pritchard, Triple H, they're all gonna fall. He's like, you watch, all of them are gonna fall. And I was like, that is so scary. I mean, they should, if they all knew and they conspired and all that stuff, they should. And if any of them did anything illegal, they should all be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. But I'm thinking about the product that we're going to see. What is going to happen? Who can run that business the way Triple H can? He's been next to Vince for decades.
I feel like Triple H wouldn't be. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Craig.
Cuz had a text earlier in the week that says and I totally agreed with it too. He's like, And I forget what the exact thing was, but it alluded to kind of like things being a little weird and feeling
Oh.
down and not enjoying the Rumble because of this week. And I
Yeah.
feel the same way watching wrestling this week, and Rumble was meh anyway, but I think it's this cloud that is affecting me and my overall love of wrestling.
It is, dude.
Because
Me
now
too.
you're like, what is real? And we've respected the shit out of Vince and the product and everything that has been part of everything. It's like, what the fuck are we doing? And like, this
And
feels
as
dirty.
some of the
like
names
it's
get named, I'm ashamed of them.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Yes.
like fucking Lesnar.
Sucks,
I was
dude.
like, what are you
Yeah, I
doing,
know.
man? Like,
I hope his is all
like,
is I just wanted to see a girl piss and that's it. Like I hope that's all
honestly,
it was,
honestly, like,
It might be for Lesnar.
well, I don't think so because they wouldn't have done. They know more than we do.
Yeah.
So that's the thing is they pulled him off for a reason. So they know there must be much more stuff that's coming out if they did that move. Like,
Well, I think what
if
they're
they-
going by, from what it sounded like, is just because his name was mentioned already publicly.
got it.
So
Just like a
hopefully that.
precautionary
I hope.
tale.
I hope.
Yeah. And by the way, so it's 40 years of everyone you talk to, every single person, all they want to do is earn Vince McMahon's love, right? He's a sociopath, he's a psychopath, and he's a narcissist. So it's like your entire life is making him happy and making him compliment you. So everything, no matter he's in the ultimate position of power, doesn't matter if it's Brock Lesnar or anyone else, if he's going to show you a piece of video on his phone, he's going to say something, you're not going to question him. You're not going to say,
right.
that's actually wrong, Vince. That's actually kind of, I don't appreciate this. You're
You're
just going
right,
to be
Craig.
like,
And it's so funny. The backseat drivers now are like, no, you do tell them it's wrong. I'm like, you don't.
You
If
don't tell Vince
anyone's been
McMahon.
in a peer pressure situation, again, you can think back after you're out of that situation. Oh, I should have done this, or I should have just walked away. But how many times have us in life just gotten peer pressured by someone, and then you end up witnessing something? Or I'm not saying we've all witnessed like horrible crimes, but just doing something dumb like ditching class, or you know what I mean, something like that. And then you just realize like, you go, shut up, Jess. And you realize like I could have walked to class. That actually happened to me. That's why I brought it up. Like it was elementary school. I was in second or third grade. The bell rang for us to go in from recess, and I don't remember who I was with. It was just a guy I was hanging out with, my friend at school, and he was like, "Let's just kick it here. Let's go behind these trees." And so we went behind the trees, and then the more time that passed, my anxiety started growing. Like, oh my god, like class has been in session for 5-10 minutes now. Like we're supposed to be in class. And then like we walked out into the main area and like 20 minutes later, someone's like, what are you guys doing? And we're like, oh, we're just going to class. We're just going to the bathroom. And they're all no. And we got super busted. And that when they asked me, like, when you knew the bell rang, why didn't you say, no, I got to go to class? I'm like, I don't know. He just said, hey, let's go over behind these trees. Let's just hang out. I don't want to go to class right now. And I did it. And that's all we just walked around and fucked around, like,
Yeah.
but it was just like, I think about that in life, like, like how I knew it was wrong to ditch class, but I did it. And then like when I got caught, they were like, why'd you do it? Why didn't you just tell them, no, I got to go to class? Like my answer was, I don't know. And obviously ditching class is way different than what were the accusations we're talking about now. But I mean, like it's all on that same level. It just grows, of
Right.
like when you're in business or you're doing something like, hey, let's just roll this, how many people have you seen got brought up, big executives that get caught laundering money? They're just like, I mean, I did it once, I didn't get caught, and then all of a sudden I just was in the room every time they were doing it. And then
Yes.
like I don't know why I didn't leave. I don't know why I didn't stop. Like it's just
Yeah.
you kind of can't. I'm not, again, no excuse. If they broke the law, you got to get prosecuted to the full extent of the law. But I mean, like it's just like you said, Craig, it is easy to look at that when this is your livelihood and you're just trying to find your spot and you're like, Vince complimented me. Wow. Or Vince likes me now because I watched that stupid video. And like now he comes to me now. He's like, let's talk about your character a little bit more, which is all you wanted in the beginning. And like now people get looped in and, oh, I got a text from Vince. Oh, okay. That video. You know what I mean? Like, and then it starts.
What
and then
does
you're in. And
Brian
like,
Danielson know? He always talks about how he has a great relationship with him and he loves him and all this stuff. And they always talk. So,
I'm a complete conspiracy theorist, by the way. So all this week on Conrad's podcast, Bischoff talked about it,
Yep.
and Jeff Jarrett talked about it. Jim Ross, for the second week in a row, has had dental issues and can't be on. And then Jim Ross posted today on his social media that he just had hip surgery for cancer to remove some cancer from his hip. And so Conrad went out of his way for 2 weeks to say, oh, he had dental surgery. He's not doing well right now. And then Bruce, we know Bruce, why Bruce isn't on.
Yeah.
And then Mick Foley had his final podcast today. He's not doing it anymore.
Why?
So like, I don't know.
Oh, he just
like he didn't really say. He just said,
no.
I just, I'm 58 years old and by 60, I want to retire from everything. I'm doing so many traveling and so many Make-A-Wishes and blah, blah, blah. And he travels to the Comic Cons and all that stuff all the time. So I don't think he wants to take time to do it anymore. And I'm not, whole conspiracy, but I'm like, all this weird stuff is happening. Like people are like, I got to go away for a while. My tooth hurts. I got to, you know what I mean? I'm almost 60,
Yeah.
and I
You
would
know,
hope to. I'm not
yeah,
saying Foley did anything wrong, but Foley might know.
He
Foley
might
might have
know stuff.
had those falling outs because he did know, and he's like, "Fuck this," like I don't want this anymore. Like, and he might even want to talk about it, like. So it's frightening, like that about how deep it goes and how many people like could get pulled into it.
I mean, Undertaker, right? Like no one's closer to him than Undertaker.
Right.
And that's the thing. That's been very conspicuously absent is people defending him in the last 2 weeks. No one's come out and said like, that's not the Vince I know, which is crazy for a billionaire, right? And for someone.
Once again, you never know,
like,
but
yeah,
we don't know. We really don't know. It's just when it's an accusation, we don't
right.
they're going to treat it seriously no matter what, especially because of who it is, status, of the money involved, all, of everything involved. So even if he wasn't guilty of, the really bad stuff, they're going to make it a big deal no matter what because of the fact that there's the accusation.
And you're right. There's going to be a lot of precautionary, but what I was also thinking too, we might walk into like a scotch taped WrestleMania card. Like if anyone is named on the active roster at all, they have to go. Like they may not be fired, but they have to be pulled. So it's like injuries are already happening too. And so now it's like they're already kind of like,
so
but then
is
if somebody's
CM Punk
named,
injured?
shit. See, you know what I mean? It's crazy.
Well,
isn't it?
someone
like,
did make I don't
know
know if someone was making a joke or whatever, but like, you notice how CM Punk only takes pictures with female wrestlers? Like, I was like,
when he first came back, I remember that. Yeah,
that's funny.
But I don't see that I don't see that with Punk. I really don't. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. It's so crazy. But it's not even like you said, cuz it's not like they did it if they're named. Some people that might just know stuff will be either, when the legal proceedings get rolling, they could be subpoenaed or they could, get gag orders put on them.
Here's what I hope.
So they might just be pulled from TV.
Here's what I hope. I hope she lied about everything. I'd rather that be the truth than. I mean,
I'd rather that be the truth because there's no victims at that point.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I think if she lied about everything, first of all, I think it's way too big for that now. And now other people are coming out. I guess the legal department, they said that they're overwhelmed with the people contacting them saying that he did that to me too, or he made me do this, or he made me watch this, or whatever. Like, and there are going to be some ambulance chasers for sure. But at the same time, like, yeah, now it's getting alarming. Like what we think we know, it's 1 million times worse.
I hate to say it, unfortunately, when blood's in the water like that too, that's also when a lot of them will.
That's
strike.
what I mean, right? Yeah. So now it's we'll never know the truth. But if they're pulling, if they're not just pulling Lesnar from Mania, but they're pulling his likeness down, then like that's a problem. Like there's something, they know something more than what has been broken, in the news, and so it's getting bad. So it's like, really, man, like, wow. Like literally, like when I was going through my t-shirts today for the episode, I was like, I may look at some of these later going, can't wear that.
Yeah.
Like it's stupid.
I
like,
have a McMahon like a boss t-shirt, which I'm going to get a couple of $1,000 soon for.
That's what I wish I would have bought those shirts that they had for the Rumble last week, but they I actually put one in my cart and then it was gone. I was like, damn it.
But it's really it's kind of funny because
money off of it.
The WWE always would, no matter if you made a mistake or not, and before you were found out whether you're innocent or guilty, they erased you, right? You just got Benoit, or they just could not afford. They were too big to like stand by your side. And the actual owner and creator of the whole thing is getting Benoit right now, which is absolutely insane. Yep. It's bigger than anybody.
And
if like, McMahon is getting Benoit.
He was the biggest heel in wrestling during the Attitude Era. It's like,
So once again,
all the descriptions are going to be
like, sense. The biggest
Steve
heel
Austin tries to get even with the Authority, like on every description, because like now it'll be like,
if it's a match of Benoit, every Raw and Peacock,
like,
if you have to erase all the McMahon stuff, the Attitude Era is gone.
It's just a 20-minute Raw.
Yeah, it's just like. It's the Radicals and what's the Everybody Comes See the Great, the Oddities.
Oh yeah,
every Raw is just like an oddity.
Well, not even Radicals because Benoit's there too. You got to erase that too.
Oh fuck! Yeah, why did I say that?
For oddities, they still can't get their moments.
Or they have to blur Vince's face out on everything, so it's just a big blur.
Just replace every episode with the oddities entrance.
His voice is all talking. He's just talking like this, like they distort his voice too. Damn it, make sure Austin doesn't get in the building. And it's got like a WWE.
It was me, Austin. It was me all along.
Oh, man.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. Austin versus the boss.
We can go over it real quick because I felt the same thing. Look, I don't think it was the funk of everything. Like I just felt, and I was sick at the time, so I thought maybe
For me,
that
I
was
think
my
it was the
problem.
fun.
But I thought the Rumble was just blah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was still produced well,
Yeah.
and it was still, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
If this is a bad show that we get now, or you can, it wasn't even bad. I'm just saying, like,
No.
if this is the worst it gets, like
There was
we're
a lot
in
of
good shape.
botches,
But
though. I did count a lot of botches there.
there was a
Yeah.
ton
I feel
of
like a lot of
botches in the
wrestlers were
women's
just
and-
kind of drained too. They're like, fuck.
yeah.
It's been a crazy week.
Yeah.
They've had to watch their P's and Q's. They can't say anything. They had to be totally careful. But also, like, it was completely predictable. Everyone, we know the way this goes now, the road to WrestleMania, and there was just Logan wasn't going to lose. Roman wasn't going to lose. Like, there's only 4 matches on the card. I watched, I was looking at the
also
clock the
bothered me.
entire time. I was like, this is too long. Like,
Yeah.
it was so.
That also bothered me because I was like, why is there only 4 fucking matches? Like Rhea wasn't on the show at all, which is dumb. I don't think Io Sky was. She might have been celebrating with Bailey. I don't remember, but she wasn't on the show.
They were
They
there.
only had
just not wrestling. Yeah.
yeah, okay. I didn't see him. Maybe you're right. But Rhea wasn't there like on TV at all. I don't think I didn't see her.
No,
at
they were
all.
just on camera shots.
Yeah, they showed her
according
one
to the
time in the
WrestleMania
back.
sign.
That was it.
Oh, okay. Well, that was it. It's like that was just it's really weird to me. But I thought if I had to choose a best, I thought the women's Rumble match was probably the best. Like,
Yes, it was.
I like
for like the
I like
second year in a
the
row,
work
maybe
they did.
third year in a row,
was.
right? Like,
The Nia Jax mate was really good.
Yeah,
like
I love
was
Nia,
like,
dude.
wow, damn,
Fucking
like
Vader.
that was like a Vader kind of stance. And then Chelsea Green was fucking great.
Oh, she
For getting
is.
squashed by everybody all the time. I
Yeah.
was laughing so hard. I was like, this is great, man. Like this is really fun.
I hope this
Um,
means Cardona's coming back. By the way, they have such a good relationship with Chelsea Green that Cardona
I don't
comes
know.
back.
You know what though? He makes a lot of money doing what he's doing
I
now, and
know.
I think that like I don't know if he wants to. Like he's totally free. He's making more money than he ever made as Zack Ryder, and he could do it all in his own like terms now.
I'm sure he'd like to
So,
slow down a little, but you're right.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. But I would like to see him too in a new character or whatever, because I think Triple H would treat him well, you know, like with this new character or whatever. And he's fun. He's funny. I like him a lot. He does all the NWA pay-per-views with Billy Corgan too. Like he'll show up there and he challenges someone, and then like they come out and it's either fucking Robert Gibson or something stupid. Like, but like he always does this whole thing. But yeah, and the 4-way, like it only got really good towards the last 3-4 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I did like that fucking bump that AJ took when he was on the rope and then he got tripped up and he fucking fell into his face right before Roman ended it. Like I was like, oh shit, like that was awesome. But I knew Roman was gonna win. There was not one fucking time where I thought Roman was gonna lose. And then fucking Solo comes in again and I'm like, God damn it. Like I was just like, this is played out and boring. I'm done. Like
yes.
they gotta do something else with him. If Cody doesn't beat him, what the fuck are you gonna do?
Just
Like
at least change
what are
the
you gonna
ending.
do?
Stop Solo coming in and spiking like.
yeah, just
Make
have
it
a competitive
interesting,
match.
man.
Like he beat Edge and Daniel Bryan clean. I don't believe he had any interference in that match. That match was great, and he ended up beating him clean at the end. Stacked them on top of each other. Like
Mhm.
I want that dominant Roman. I don't want the coward Roman now that needs to cheat to win. Every match he cheats. Every match. Like it's just so I knew he wasn't going to lose at Royal Rumble. And on top of that, you do the same thing. And then Solo comes out with his hood on and takes it off slow. Like we don't fucking know who you are. Like you're
I
wearing
wasn't
the
sure.
same shit. Like Jesus
No, yeah.
Christ. Like I knew right when he walked out there. I was
Yeah.
like, it's
I thought it was
fucking
Jacob
Solo.
Fatu for a
Like, yeah.
second.
And I'm like, God damn it. Like, why? Why are we doing this? And so, like, I was like, whatever. I mean, I guess Roman did kind of win clean, even though Solo interfered like a couple minutes earlier. But, like, it was off the botch of. And now people are saying it's going to set up LA Knight and AJ Styles possibly because LA Knight knocked him off the rope, which caused Roman to spear. So it might be LA Knight and AJ Styles at Mania, which that would be an interesting clash
That would be.
for sure. I was kind of hoping that LA would get the spot against Gunther or.
I think he's still going to be
Logan.
Logan. I think it's still going to be that.
Yeah. I think you need to put a secondary title on him because, like, you've already fizzed him out on the main roster. Like, he's not beating anybody. He's not losing anymore, which is cool. But, like, he's not beating anybody. So it's like, I don't want to keep seeing that because we're all going to get tired of it. We're going to be like, they don't pull the trigger with him. So fucking get him out of the main event picture then and stop wasting our
Yeah.
time. Like, so.
I do like, though, in that match, he was probably one of the best workers. I know on the promos on the run up to that.
They all did
to
good,
that
I
story. LA Knight was also shining. So even on equal footing with Roman and AJ and Randy, he's taken advantage of it and he proves he can belong, which is cool to see. But you're right; they got to be very careful.
And
God.
Logan Paul and Owens was very good. Like, if
was.
everything else caught me by surprise, like I didn't really realize it until I went back and watched some of it. And Logan Paul got the shit beat out of
Owen
him.
Oh my
beat the
God.
shit.
Beat
Didn't it
the
feel like
shit.
he was
It
doing
was-
it to prove
wow,
a point? Like,
Yeah,
who
I
kn-
think he did.
like didn't he put like mustard on everything? It seemed like it.
Yeah, he was like hitting him in the face or slaps or whatever. And did you see the interview afterwards?
Yeah.
When he acted like he was had a
He looked like he
concussion?
was
So fucking
concussed.
He's like,
funny. Yeah.
and he just walked away.
He's almost going.
Owens
Can I have a
gave
minute,
him
please?
such an elbow in the face. My God, it was.
It was really
He had
fun.
a nice welt
It was
under his
awesome.
eye.
I really like that match. Like I would say that was probably my second favorite behind the women's, and then the men's was just boring. Like the whole time I was like,
Yeah. It was so lackluster.
like up until the end, I did kind of like Punk and Cody. I thought it was fine. A lot of people were like, "Oh, Punk looked like shit." I'm like, "It looks like
No, he
Punk,
looked
dude."
fine.
He was fine.
He-
He did.
He does the running knees in the corner 800 times, and then he does the bulldog. And sometimes if he double teams someone,
Yeah.
he'll clothesline the person to his left and bulldog the other person he's got. Like
Yeah.
it's just 5 moves. It's what they all do.
And then
Which
he'll
I was
detach a
fine with it.
muscle or hurt himself for the next 6 months.
Yeah, and then he
That's
fucking
classic Punk.
fucking so fucking I love it. God, I love it. I don't know what I love about it or who I'm trying to get even with by saying I told you, but like fuck him. Like goodbye. Like see ya. And the last time he was gone with that same injury, it was the other tricep, he was out for like 9 months. Like
It was a tricep,
bye.
wasn't it?
Yep, it was. Bye.
Just
How's your comeback now, fucker?
do some dips, dude.
You know what he might as well have done on the way out of the arena is just fought someone.
Yeah.
To have a backstage
That's
fight,
so
and then it would
funny.
be the exact same legacy he left in AEW. Like, even though I've heard numerous people say that he's different and he's nice to me.
His
You're like,
locker
well, he should have
room
been
is
nice the first
perfect
time.
family.
Like, you mean he's a normal person now? That's cool. Like, so now he's like, you praise him for being the way he should have fucking been the first time he was in the company. Like, Jesus Christ. Fucking Punk. Even though
That's
I loved
so
his
funny.
return. His return's awesome. Like, I've loved him
yeah.
on the mic since. I love all of his promo
Mhm.
offs with Cody and
Oh, yeah.
Drew. God, I want Drew to
Drew
keep
is-
going. You know,
I want
man,
him to win the World
I-
Heavyweight title at Mania.
I want
Drew.
Yep.
if he's one of the ones last standing and he ends up getting like a highlighted match at Mania, let's do it. Like I love it. Like I want him. He should beat fucking Seth. Fuck everybody.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what
he
I'm
should beat
saying.
Seth.
Like, I want him to beat Seth.
So I guess Cody was supposed to announce tonight who he was going to.
Yeah, and you saw what happened, right?
Choose. No,
The Rock came
I
out.
saw the
to interrupt
damage
it.
control thing. I didn't see the Cody.
I didn't
thing.
see The Rock came out.
The
Holy
Rock,
shit,
came,
The Rock
out
came out.
during Cody and Roman's
Jesus. It's
face
gonna be a
off.
triple
No.
threat. It's gonna be a triple threat.
Honestly, so they're
better
playing up on Raw, like because Rollins is calling him out. So they're playing up like he's going to finish the story with Seth, right?
I that was polarizing to a lot of people, but I liked Rollins' speech.
I
He's
did
like,
too.
Look, like he's all like, it's like it's not like he should be picking the champion, but the champion was like, dude, pick me. Like this title's worth it. Like you want to build something, you want to start a legacy, you want to do
Yeah.
what your dad did. This is what your dad did. Like he fucking never wrestles. Like he never does anything, and I liked it. I was like,
Yeah,
I
it was a
really
great
enjoyed
promo.
what
I
Seth
thought it was
said.
weird because he said like some people call this the television title, and then, no.
It will always be. And Cody's gonna face Roman. There's no way it'll be a triple threat with Rock
I
and
hope
Roman
not.
and Cody. I do
know.
because
It's like-
I didn't want to see The Rock one-on-one because I don't know if he
I
could
just
do
don't
it.
want to see it.
So
at
I'd
all.
rather see a triple threat because it's Solo's gonna come out. Oh, this is gonna be a whole song and dance, and then Cody's actually probably gonna win. Like I bet
probably
Rock
with
will.
Rock's help.
But to me,
and
the,
stuff.
I
the
bet- yeah,
story
I bet-
is one-on-one against the guy that hasn't been defeated for the last 4 years.
I agree. I see
You know,
what you're
that
saying.
it dilutes it to me. If
But because to
fucking
the defense
care.
on that, he tried it last year and everyone's tried it and he always fucking cheats and has Solo come in and the Usos when they were together and all that stuff. So maybe they'll tell a story like now the odds are even. So even if the family runs down, The Rock can fight the family off. And then maybe The Rock will just kind of do it like hit the crossroads, do it. Like, you know what I mean?
Or
Like
he's
at
like,
the end
yeah, I
of the
don't
match.
like this. Yeah,
actually, I
And
want
The
to see
Rock
the
turns.
opposite. I want The Rock to turn and help Roman
If The Rock
win.
turns, it'd be so great. That'd be so
that'd
fun.
be. Can you imagine?
I'm telling you, I don't know. I mean, I don't know why they go this far and then not break Hogan's record. Like, I don't know why they would do that.
But it's tired because like if you watch you watch the Rumble.
Yeah.
It's tired. It's over.
Yeah.
Like, and by the way, they did fizz out after Sammy. After the mystique of Sammy, that was the emotional part. That was the emotional character that you wanted to see.
I
And
thought
then
he was going to win.
I'm
in
not saying
Montreal.
I'm not saying I thought Sammy should have won. I'm just saying like that when that left, it was like this. I don't even care
then
what
Cody
they're doing
died.
anymore. Like, and then Cody died,
Yeah.
and then
the rubber duck, the rubber chicken in the ring,
and then the
Who threw that rubber
Usos broke
chicken?
up and all that stuff. Like to me, I was like, they haven't revamped the bloodline. It's boring. They haven't brought anybody new in. Maybe WrestleMania they will, or maybe Elimination Chamber they will. They'll bring in, but they need to inject some kind of new life into the bloodline, give it its own character again. Because bloodline itself was funny. Because Sammy was the one he was trying to keep everyone together. Oh, Tribal Chief, you're mad at? He's not feeling very Usi. Oh, the whole thing just was beautiful. And then when he left, I thought the heart of that storyline left, and it's not been the same. So if they don't let Cody end it, what are we doing here? Like, what exactly are we doing?
Then maybe
Like,
Cody's just not going to
you're-
fight him this year. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
To me,
dude.
if you're not going to have Cody beat him, that's the
Dude.
road.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
That's the move.
He's
If you're
still
not
he
going to have
sold the
Cody
most
beat
merch
him,
at Royal Rumble.
Because then he can
Yeah.
carry that world heavyweight title, and then if he finally wants to do it next year, like if
Maybe
Roman
go merge
really
it
is going to
later.
go, because you have
that's a good point.
that's what I'm saying. You have to keep it away. If you have Cody fight Roman this year, and you aren't going to have him win, but you want him to be the guy that wins,
You're going to kill
eventually,
Cody.
Well, you do it like the way I say. You just have Rock
They're
just from the start of the match. You just have Rock and Roman just beating the shit out of him the whole time, and Rock's like, "Your family, this is, you keep carrying that title. There you go, boom."
Yeah.
Because people would be behind Cody. It would be a shitty way to end the show, but I think that would build more sympathy for Cody if the plan is to Cody to lose again, and if they still want him to eventually beat Roman after Roman's breaking Hogan's record.
I do still like that we're guessing,
Yeah,
but he cannot lose
Roman's
again.
the best.
He can't.
You know what? If New
just
Japan
can't
can
lose
do
again.
these 3-4 year long term storytelling stuff, like fighting up the mountain, maybe
Every great series has that season that's kind of like, that season was okay compared to all the other ones. So we're just in that season right now. Maybe for all we know, after Mania, if Roman goes out as champ still, they're gonna do
They
something
still
that
got
night.
the hot hand, right? Like,
Yeah, there's
you give the bloodline a new member that kind of breathes
Exactly.
life into it, and then that will make
and
that
finally
okay.
Jacob
and then,
Fatu is finally now a free agent.
yes.
And Booker T
That'd be
says,
cool.
"I
Yeah.
want to get him signed to WWE."
Get him in there.
So, for Paul Heyman to say, "We're only in the third inning right now," then you better fuck it. And come on, Paul Heyman. You said that, so come on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I will
Is that
say
what we
they
did?
kind of had me doubting a little bit that Cody was even going to run the Rumble. So when they do these little swerve things and build up other stuff, but it has to be Cody.
And
It has
until
to be
Seth came out
fucking
and gave
Cody.
that good promo about pick my title, I was like, like, are they
Exactly.
doing this just to cover up the obvious that it's going to be him and Roman, or will they really do something different? Like, you never know.
Well,
Like,
not
and
if
that
Rock
would be
wants
fine.
Rock wants to
Brock wants in already.
do
It's
something,
over now.
so
It's
and
already
he'll
set in motion.
disrupt whatever he wants.
Yeah, so they could
Yeah.
just go Rock versus Roman and that's it, and then Cody versus Seth.
Okay. I mean, whatever. All right.
It might even be a
I don't
triple
think
threat.
they.
It might be Drew, Cody, and Seth. Like that's another possibility too.
I saw that too.
Or
Yeah, I
Gunther.
saw that little
Gunther
graphic.
in it too.
I even saw that if Cody goes with Roman, it might be Gunther, Drew, and Seth, or they're even saying it could be Sammy, Drew, and Seth. And like, there's a lot of different. They're probably throwing a lot of different things around. Like, maybe they are going to revitalize Sammy character, and he'll be more of a part of the bloodline again, not joining bloodline, but be back in the middle of it.
Oh,
And so that's what, because I guess he's healthy now, like, or for the most part,
Yeah, he
can
came
get
back.
out there and
I think he wanted
Yeah.
to take some time off himself.
yeah.
He fought
Maybe he
Drew
does
on
something
Monday.
with Jay. Maybe it's Sammy and Jay versus Jimmy and Solo or something. I
Yeah,
don't fucking
sure.
know.
I think it's got to be the two Usos. I mean, yeah, maybe
That's
not.
what I
Maybe they
thought.
could bleed
Yeah.
that out too.
Has to
God,
be.
can you imagine they do that and then it's like in that match, Jay turns on Sammy and rejoins the bloodline, and then you're like, oh fuck, and you still got Roman and Cody.
Do we
tonight.
also
Like,
do we have a Kevin Owens turning on Sammy? Like, in
See, that's what I would like to see is
like,
Kevin. I think Kevin
yeah.
and Sammy would like to go one-on-one at Mania together.
Yeah.
That's their dream.
Well, they're on separate
But-
brands right now, so
Yeah, you
Like,
know,
that
it's funny.
matters.
The only brother
Right.
versus brother that's not disappointed, I think, is Brett and Owen. Like when you think about brother versus brother, like Rick and Scott, Jeff and Matt, like it's always missing a little
Rick and
something,
Scott was
right?
the bookers. I swear to God, that made me so furious.
Jimmy and
in
Jay might actually
WCW.
pull it off. Actually, that's probably what it's gonna be. Jimmy and Jay fighting each other.
That's what I
Yeah.
figured it was going to
Yeah.
be. I like them being number 1 and 2 in the Royal Rumble. By the way,
That was very cool. It was a very cool start.
I like
their
Jimmy.
faces towards
What
each
are the
other.
odds of
Yeah,
that,
Jimmy
right?
was fucking.
They were
funny,
having a
dude.
first of all, they were having a goddamn blast. By the way,
Yeah.
like the faces they were doing, they're all like
Yeah,
all
Jimmy
big,
was
so
fucking, like,
funny.
all
Like they were just
wild-eyed
trying
and
to
shit.
fucking. It was great. Like I was like, God damn it! Like they've been wanting this like their whole lives, like just to
Yeah.
fuck with each other, and like yeah, it's so
Yeah.
funny.
But they've wrestled one-on-one before, right? Or no?
I don't think officially they might have had
Oh.
to in like some weird turmoil match or some bullshit, but they've never had
Yeah,
a
they've
feud
never had a
against each other, to
program.
my
That's for
knowledge.
sure.
Yeah.
or against each other, I should say.
And that was their dream. They said that's what they wanted. Like they wanted to face each other at WrestleMania. That's like one of their goals.
That's cool.
Yeah, they were fucking hilarious, like in there. And that's why I was like, I texted Axe and Smash. I was like, Axe and Smash.
Yeah. And so also on SmackDown tonight, Damage Control turn on Bailey.
Yep. Finally,
So-
you knew it was coming. You knew it was coming.
Bailey was wearing this like see-through kind of leggers with like a black underwear on, and it's the
She
hottest
is-
thing she's worn in years. And I couldn't
Yeah,
stop.
she-
Oh
staring
yeah,
at,
she's
do you know what I'm talking about?
She's a looker.
sure liked it.
She's thick.
That
but
Bailey.
she's
Shit
But
on
I
her
like
kind of
her.
shit.
I like her character or whatever. And I mean, obviously she'll play the face role. She's kind of got
Dude,
to.
that
But
pop tonight.
I hope
for-
they don't kill Damage Control. I want them to keep going. What if Money comes back and she's the head of Damage Control now?
Ah,
because of like that.
I would love that, but I think she's gonna join the Coke snorting fucking Mark.
AEW?
Yeah,
She is.
that's what it sounds
just
like.
for
I
the
mean,
money.
it's sounding like. I mean,
I don't know.
sure.
I don't know.
I
I
can't
can't
see
get a
it,
read
though.
on her anymore.
I can't see.
You know what? They wasted it on Saturday, but from all accounts, that elimination tag match was phenomenal
I mean,
on
the
AEW.
they're putting more emphasis on the right women in the
Yeah.
division right now, like Tony Storm, Statlander.
Actual.
Like they're using the right people. Like they've pulled Soraya back. Britt Baker hasn't
Thank
been on
God.
TV in forever. Good.
Thank God.
Gross.
Just so it seems if this is what they're going to do, if they do have someone back there saying, "Look, I want to keep this momentum going," I'm fine with her going
You
to
better do it.
AEW.
You better do the moment. Keep the momentum going, especially right now. Take advantage of it. Of the
Yeah,
cloud.
you need
That's over.
exactly. He needs some kind of spark or whatever, like for sure, to keep going in that way until MJF comes back and all that stuff.
Dude,
So
if they're getting 2,000 people a house, the quality's still good. They're missing something though, and they need some
they have
kind
to
of
write.
spark.
Well,
They're
it's a main event storyline they're missing, and they're missing a big draw. And I think that like it really sucks. I think maybe they could have hit that iron with the whole "Who's the Devil" storyline, but it was fucked up because of Cole's injury, and then there was a lot of other things. MJF has been wrestling injured for like 3 months before he left, so
Yeah.
like I feel bad for him on that sense,
I do
like because
too.
I was like he could have done something like at that point. Edge, I love Edge like in AEW. He does every Collision he does a Edge challenge, and he's
Yeah.
challenging himself to get better, and like I really like.
Yeah, he
And then
fought
they're pulling him a
Suzuki.
Christian again. You know they're gonna fucking come back at each other and kill each other.
Oh yeah.
And like so I love that. That's always in the so there's some bright spots, not all, but you got to get Acclaim back on both shows. You got to do a lot of shit like to me that are
I
easy
hope
to do.
Okada might be, and Will Ospreay starts soon, full time.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right.
It's because people compare them to WCW of 2000. I'm like their talent roster is quadruple
better,
what
yeah.
WCW in WCW 2000. Like they couldn't like all the big guys wanted to. Oh, my toe hurts. I can't wrestle. Oh, and they never showed up to house shows. They didn't do anything. Like they have so much talent right now. They could turn it around by just a few tweaks and like focusing, having some people jump back and forth on a more regular basis from Dynamite to Collision to get a familiarity because I'm afraid they're not big enough to do a separate Raw and a SmackDown. Like they're not big enough to do that, and he's trying it, and I'm like, don't do that. Like you don't have enough
Trying to do
viewers
too much
on
at once,
Collision.
like too many different things.
Yeah, exactly.
Ring of Honor,
He's trying
two
to
different shows, two different brands. Like all.
Yeah,
just-
it doesn't. He needs to slow it down and start having like the Acclaimed are over, whether you like them or not. It doesn't matter. They're over, so they should be on both shows.
Yeah.
But they've been quarantined to Collision. Why? Like, there's no goddamn reason for it.
Because big announcement next week, Tony Khan.
I know.
Because
Hey, if
Ooh,
it
do
ends
you
up
think,
being Monet, you never know.
yeah.
Monet.
What I do like, what might happen is it will result in the Young Bucks winning the belts, but Sting and Darby are challenging Ricky and Big Cass for the tag titles.
Tag titles.
And they had a cool face off. I like their little face off. Sting was good too. And so they might win the titles and take it over to Sting's last match and defend the belts
In
against the Young
Greensboro.
Bucks and
Give it to
lose.
Sting,
Yeah.
man. Sting deserves everything.
I'm excited. We're gonna do some episodes of him or whatever, and it'll be February. Will be all about Sting, but I'm glad that they're doing right by him, and I can't wait to see. Rumor has it too that I've been reading that he has been given the rights to run certain video clips from any organization that Sting's been with. So like when he does the montages, you'll see everything. that
Nice.
Sting has
Cool.
done. So I'm like, dude, yeah, because I want to see that face off or Great American Bash, where he's bobbing up and down and Flair's just staring at him or whatever. Like, I need it. Like that all has to happen. Like to say goodbye to him. So I've
the
heard.
kabuki
I don't
drums
know
of
if it's
Mania.
true.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
They probably will.
The kabuki drums
They
at
got
Mania.
WWE's giving them the WCW, footage. So
WWE
Yeah, so
only
that's-
only lets
I-
you
I-
go 14 through
have to have
16.
the
That may not be
2014.
true. I read that somewhere, but because like the show, they have to be like paying some kind of video tribute to him. They're gonna have people. There's gonna be people there. Like Hogan's probably gonna be there. They're probably gonna have a bunch of people that worked with
oh
Sting.
brother,
Like Bischoff won't because
yeah.
fucking Tony Khan hates him, and he was Tony Khan. But
who does? Oh, Bischoff.
yeah, there's gonna be
Does Sting
Bischoff,
hate
yeah.
Bischoff?
no.
Oh. Or you saying
far as I
Hogan
know,
hates Bischoff?
Tony Khan does.
No, Tony Khan hates Bischoff. They hate each other.
Oh.
Like, all Bischoff does is rip him apart on his podcast every week. So yeah, he won't be there. But for Sting, he should be there. Like so there's probably gonna be a lot of people that you'll see. I mean, there'll be old timers from WCW times, but like what about Conan? What about they all wrestled with Sting and everything. Nash.
Say
Holland,
Conan.
sorry.
Get him away.
Like Nash could be there. Like just to say goodbye to Sting or whatever. So I'm hoping that they make a good scene, like a goodbye scene for him. Like, I really hope that
He
like
deserves it,
it's a
man.
good pay-per-view. They've already sold like, I guess every time they open up like a row of like 1,000 seats, it sells out. They're already up to 14,000 in the Greensboro Coliseum, so it's
Sting
considered a
deserves
sellout
it.
already. But yeah, they might make the stage smaller so they could put seats above it and stuff like that. So
And if
like,
we need
yeah,
a wholesome fucking couple of weeks with a wrestler
right.
that's never
Like,
had any
I would
trouble,
like to see
we could
Sting.
use a palate
Yeah, watch
cleansing
that
with
week.
Sting.
Everything drops on Sting. Like right before, like God damn
It
it.
would be so awful. I'd stop watching wrestling. I'd
Yeah,
stop watching wrestling. At that point. I don't think I'd want to.
I'll be like, you know what, Sting, just go out like Randy the Ram. Just do it.
Yeah.
Jump off the
Sting
top.
peed on,
Splashes
Sting
up the
peed on
top.
who?
Just,
No.
Yeah, I know.
No.
No.
No, remember in TNA, remember when he starts painting
There's all
Hogan
this-
with the makeup in the office, right? He literally did that to people backstage. He would force them in the corner like that. So wear the makeup.
Sting signed with WWE because what? No.
You watch what video?
No.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Why don't you
I
come
know.
aboard for WrestleMania? I don't think so.
Fucking-
I don't know, Vince. I don't whatever. Your phone.
Look at the video.
You there?
Look at the video,
yes,
Sting.
you
Sting,
will,
come
dude.
on.
Oh, it's not even funny. God,
It's,
see,
I
this
know,
guy's-
I
it's-
know.
It's,
Like,
it's actually not funny anymore.
it sucks because like it makes me sad. Like after I laugh or whatever, I'm like, my whole
Like
childhood.
it's real though. Like
Yeah. You're like, I have a daughter. Fuck. Like,
yeah,
this
like
is-
it's like it's just. But we've all. Like I was just talking about the smaller versions of peer pressure. It's like, can you imagine? And then the victims, the people whose life it ruined. Like it's like fuck. Like they're always going to be thinking about that shit.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
disgusting.
Stupid
SmackDown
goddamn
was-
Vince.
SmackDown was awesome.
You know what I wanted to do? I was trying to think back. I was like, what? Like, how much did we flower him in our legacy of Vince McMahon? I was like, I think we just spent 2 hours going,
Well, no,
most
because
amazing.
I didn't go back and listen to it, but at the same time, like, I mean, we just spoke the truth, like, which
Yeah.
is what it was, like,
Yeah.
which is what he's done. We didn't know that was going on, but we did it off the heels of the original accusation, so we knew there
That's
was something
true.
heavy.
That's true.
We knew there was like dark clouds looming in the distance anyway, but I don't think
Yeah.
I think we would say the same stuff now.
No, we say
I wouldn't
billionaire's
do
been a
it.
billionaire. We say he does. Yeah, he's.
Yeah, like we said it last week too. I remember I said it to Cuz like he's on this level of like we don't know that billionaire boredom is unlike anything you've ever
Yeah.
like encountered. We can't touch it. We're paycheck to paycheck folks. Like we're
I'm a
you know,
100
yeah so like we don't even know like what it doesn't make it right. I'm just simply saying like the level that he's on and what he needs to do to entertain himself. And he's always been an
You got to
odd
remember
person
too.
anyway.
He's
from
had
all
a
accounts.
fucked up childhood too. Didn't his mom fucking do stuff to him?
I think that he was
He-
abused if I'm
he
not
had-
mistaken.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he had a lot, and the stepdad was a piece of shit too. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, fuck. No wonder what creates that mind. I guess.
And then the one father that he gravitated toward it to is his dad.
Yeah.
Like he fucking ripped his territory from him.
Yeah, the one that was good to him. The parent
Doing
that was good to him.
everything. I'm doing everything opposite of what you were doing. You.
Fucking piece of shit.
But he was sick. I think Vince knew more about how sick he was, and that's why he did it. Because Senior was sick.
Oh, that's right.
I mean, Hogan, fucking
Brother.
stupid story. He wrote a story in his book. He said like one time he was going in the like Senior went in the restroom, and then Hogan, I got to go to the bathroom too, brother. And then he goes in there, and he said that he saw like the stall was like pink, like when he was urinating, like meaning like he was bleeding, like, and so that's how he knew how sick he was. He was like, I knew something was wrong, like 'cause I saw
Yeah,
him
brother.
and try to cover it up, and it was all like pink on the inside, and then he flushed the toilet real fast or whatever, and the urinal, and he's like, I knew something was wrong, like
This
there was
is
something
my
wrong with
brother.
him. So then I slammed him, and he died.
So, I mean, Hulkamania 40th anniversary. Jess, have you looked at the merch that's available
No.
in WWE shop with
I
the Hulkamania?
can't anymore of him. Like he disappoints me too.
What?
I don't like him.
He's fine,
buddy.
He's fine. He says a couple of stupid things, but
Is he going to do an
Good couple.
appearance? Like he did the St. Pete opening.
I think he
for
gets
Rumble.
booed. Like people are over him, and especially in today's society, the people who are a little sensitive to everything. Like he's people hate him. Like
soft ass
when
motherfuckers.
like a month or so ago when Sting announced his retirement or whatever, he was like thanking people and he thanked Hogan and everybody booed. And he was like, come on now. He's like, I learned some things from the Hulkster. Like, and everybody booed. And I was like, okay, like everyone
Shit.
hates his guts. Like, yeah, he's not. He got booed at Florida WrestleMania. Remember when he came out there? Or whatever.
I mean,
He's
just
fucking
off the
booed
stories
there, too.
alone of him politicking in the back is enough to get like, especially wrestling fans, to fucking be like, "Fuck that
Yeah,
guy."
exactly.
Man. He doesn't even
But
have
that's
to
all
say
people
anything
remember
stupid.
about him. Yeah, like his legacy now is that he
Yeah.
politicked.
I'm going to go
everything. He
more
was
with the
awful.
racism, but yeah.
Well, that too. But I mean, like you don't when you didn't live. We lived through Hogan, so when he
Yep.
was in his prime, we kind of saw that magic. But like in the NWO, we saw the magic and how charismatic he was. But I mean, like people who don't live through that, that's all you hear is the racist stories and the politicking stories. And so people are like, why should I like him again? And then so all you're gonna do is go
Oh,
back
brother.
and watch him and be like,
You know,
he sucks, he can't wrestle.
People should
like,
respect the politicking stories at this point. Like it's a dog eat dog world. There's only room for one, and you got to keep.
But I had
that
to say, I
spot,
think
like,
that's why.
And
more
by the
fans
way,
hate him
at the
more for
time,
that,
though,
like,
nobody-
really,
Yeah.
especially
What'd you
the
say,
marks. I said I think the marks really hate Hogan more for his politicking than anything he's ever said.
You're
I
right.
feel like
That's so
this-
funny. It's so backwards. You're right. You're 100% right. Is exactly why. And yeah, it's like I don't know
Like
what you
Cardi
say.
Talk,
Yeah, you look back on it now, and I'm like,
Like
him and Vince were.
you respect Triple H for it. You respect Stone Cold for holding that for
Right.
3 years. Like
Yeah.
If Hogan
Shawn
was hip
Michaels.
and running his own promotion and doing cool stuff, people would be like all day to him. But it's like, yeah, it's like.
Well, the difference with
such
Hogan and all those
hypocrites.
other guys is you heard more of the verbiage that he said. You know, like not going to work for me,
Yes.
brother.
Yeah.
Oh, brother,
Yes.
I'll go over first. You go over after, brother.
yeah,
Like, you
yeah.
don't hear like,
it's
oh
the-
yeah, I'll go over first, then you go over, and brother, we can work.
You'll
it
get
out.
the third one.
Yeah.
I can't do the third one. Oh, I'm not doing the second one either.
Austin willingly tapped to Chris Jericho and Benoit, so Austin's he's the goat. He puts
I'm not
anyone
losing the
over.
Brock. I'm taking off.
And Kurt Angle.
Yeah, except for that one time when he's like, I gotta go. I'm not gonna be on the flight, Jim.
Yeah.
My God, why?
Oh,
Well, he just want to make sense, money.
You're just gonna waste me and Lesnar.
I mean, that would have been like putting Hogan on against like King Kong Bundy and
Show him
having
the
him
video.
fucking lose on Monday Night. Like, that would have been like well, maybe not King Kong Bundy and Brock, but you know what I'm saying.
And in all honesty, in Austin's defense too, it was. I think that time period for some reason was more appropriate for him to walk out and do that. And Punk did it, and Punk's
Well,
back.
can you
so it's
imagine like if
whatever.
they did that to Hogan, like they would have done it like have him face John Tenta on Monday Night and he'd fucking just lose, like loses, like they just announced that match
Yeah,
that
right.
day.
Yeah,
Like,
that's where that came from. Like that's
for
not
one,
gonna work
that
for you,
never
brother.
would have happened, brother, because that definitely would not have
Yeah.
happened, brother. Like,
That would not have worked for me,
that
brother.
definitely would not have worked for certain brothers, brother.
Well, so here's the Monday
Yeah.
Night Raw thing. We're gonna have you lose to John Tenta in the first round qualifier of the King of the Ring. He's like, I'm not gonna be able to make it, brother. I'm gonna.
It's okay. I'm
brother,
just
that's,
hey, if
I'm
that's
gonna be
good for
putting the
business,
boat in
I'm
the
in.
water, brother. I don't know who's gonna lose to John Tenta, but it's not gonna be me.
He's like, I'm just gonna get in my
Right.
cardi talk, brother. But that shizzy ain't gonna whizzy for me, my nizzy.
Well, we understand exactly what you're saying. It's not like a secret anymore. He's like, oh, for shizzle.
Shizzle, brother. Well, Snoop Dogg says that every day. No, brother.
Yeah.
So speaking of Snoop Dogg, brother. But well,
Yeah.
Well, SmackDown had some good
yeah,
points.
I still haven't shaken the funk off yet, like
Well,
of the whole.
That's
thing
why I
or
wanted to
whatever.
bring up at least on SmackDown. Some bright spots. You have like what Craig has already mentioned, the Bailey and Io. We talked about The Rock and Roman, but you had Tiffany Stratton who signed SmackDown. She had a match with Michin.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was awesome. I was excited to see that. Naomi officially, signs with SmackDown. Jade Cargill officially signs with SmackDown. They were about to sign Braun Breaker, but then Adam Pearce came in. He's like, "Hey, man, why don't you come here with my offer first?" So,
Oh,
Braun's probably going to go to Raw, I'm guessing. So,
Well, that's
but-
cool.
But SmackDown's that woman.
That's cool that Naomi she can botch on SmackDown now.
What's what happened?
She can botch on SmackDown now. That's cool.
Who?
Naomi, she's fucking
Oh.
botch factory.
Hey, she's gotten
Oh.
better than what she was before.
I
I feel like
I like the fact. Honestly, I do like the fact that she went to TNA. I think that helped
Oh,
her
yeah.
greatly. Like,
It's awesome.
I think that they all need to do that. I think for sure. Like, I think that she had to have learned stuff. And working with Jordynne Grace over there, like,
Mm-hmm.
she's only going to get better. I hope they sign her. She's great.
Well, according to Jordan Grace, after the Rumble, she said this isn't going to be the last time you see WWE and TNA.
Yeah,
Something
yeah.
like that. Or TNA and WWE.
And because I will give you credit, you actually called that out
What?
about a month ago. This was going to happen.
That's what I was. You would assume, like, if you're Endeavor,
I didn't
why
think
wouldn't
think
you?
it would was kind of be that kind of possible, but you.
Well, I
actually
knew.
saw
I
that.
knew a couple years ago when they had
Mickey?
what's her fuck on?
Yeah, Mickey
Yeah.
James.
Yeah, Mickey James. I knew that like they never closed that door.
Yeah. Well, and especially when Endeavor, obviously merged with WWE, and then they're providing the streaming platform for TNA.
Yeah.
It's like, why wouldn't you? You have these two
corporate
businesses, like,
synergy.
why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Do that? Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you try to make money like that? They're going to.
But Jordan was a natural in there.
Yeah, she did really
She was
good,
a
dude.
fucking natural.
Poor Ivy Nile.
been
was
good
just
for a long
botching, like,
time.
left and right
Yeah.
in there.
Who was?
Ivy Nile, she was like botching left and right.
Oh, she was. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then the Cargill and Bianca was just money. That
God.
pop up for those when they were both pressed.
And
both
while they're
of them
standing
facing
next to each other, it's like somebody wrote a thing on it. It's not fair to pick on this person, but they're like Becky Lynch looked old next to all of them. So she did. Like Bianca's in
Good.
huge shape.
Get
Like
her out of there.
Jade is like a fucking
Oh,
statue. Like
cuz
Jade's a statue, and like
she
you're
is.
looking at these
She is.
athletes, like you're like Jesus, like, and then you looked at like Becky, she's all frumpy and injured and not standing straight
frail.
in the corner. It's like, yeah, like they're just,
Kick her to the curb.
which is good. This is the first time that we've seen like before you would see like Vince just abuse the diva division and then shit on it for like 3 years and then another wave would come. This is the first time that I've seen, well, maybe it's the second time it's happened because the first wave was like with Charlotte and all them. Now you're seeing like what the men's do. They start cycling out. You see the older stars kind of just start looking a little older here and there, and then like the newer stars start getting better and better.
Mhm.
And this Rumble to me in the women's, I was like, you clearly saw a definition of the older layer now and the newer like coming up. Like Bianca is, I know she's been around for a little bit now, but she's still part of that newer.
Yeah.
Like she's in great shape still. She's super healthy. And now Jade comes in and looks
Tiffany
like the way
Stratton,
she looks.
she
and,
had a great performance at the
Stratton.
Rumble. God, she's gonna be there.
Yep. And then Nia being a good heel.
Dude, I
looks
love
like they're
Nia
gonna
now.
use her. Like so. Like I'm like, dude, you
Say
see
that
like
again,
this.
cuz, just so we can get the audio of it.
I love Nia now.
There you go.
This is how I wanted her to be. It's like after she fucking busted Becky's face the first time, they should have had her just being like
Embrace
this.
it, right?
Embrace
Fucking
it.
embrace it.
Yeah.
Like, listen, I'm not saying that, Vince has always been way more polished than WCW, but one of the smart things WCW did is when they got Vader, they were just like, he looks real. So we need that. We need this. Like, it's a monster that people are scared of. We need our heroes to be able to look tough, and we'll talk about it later in some of the stuff I have planned for today. But like Sting rose to the occasion and he's like, I'll be stiff with him. I'm fine with that. And that worked. Someone needs to get in Nia's face and there's plenty of, I mean, Jade, there's plenty of people that are big enough to get in her face and push her back. And then you're going to see this amazing, like, stiffness, like, awesome match.
But
know
did you
what I
watch
mean? Like, I'm
Raw?
excited
Did you
for
watch
those.
Raw on Monday?
Yes. Yeah.
Where she fucking just destroyed Rhea in the ring. That was
Yes,
awesome
yeah,
too. I was
yeah.
like, fuck yeah! Like she just came out of nowhere
Yeah.
when Bailey and her.
You got to make
Rhea
her
were having trouble.
credible. Like, how hard is it to make her credible? You have this big monster there. It's like, dude, go for it, man. Like, don't hold her back. Don't try to teach her a lesson. Well, she botched a hip toss, so we got to teach her a lesson. It's like, no. How about
Actually,
no?
I want to see
Like,
her and Rhea at Mania, honestly,
Yeah,
because I know they're
that'd
teasing
be fine.
Bianca and Rhea, but like, nah, give me Nia and fucking Rhea. Let them fucking go to war. Just
Interesting.
That might be
big meaty woman
Elimination
slapping
Chamber.
meat, huh?
People are saying that might be Elimination Chamber.
That is
that's
it.
Actually,
That is
People are
actually
saying that it's going to be Rhea and Nia at
Oh
Elimination
man,
Chamber.
that's
the
gonna be
rumor.
cool. Actually. Oh yeah, that they better just beat the shit. They better be like fucking Gunther and
Oh,
Sheamus
don't
fighting
waste
each
it.
other.
I want like
Interesting.
busted lips and just them fucking boom, like just going crazy on each other.
She might hurt my girl Rhea.
You
Don't hurt.
gotta
my girl
send the
Rhea.
message, right? You have to.
You have
Like
to.
again, I forgot to mention Rhea. Rhea's part of the new generation too. Look
Yep.
at the size of her.
Yep.
Like so you have Bianca, Rhea, Jade, Nia.
Yeah,
like
I
dude,
said,
you have
big meaty women slapping meat.
the other women that are coming in have to rise to the occasion. And if you're smaller, you do what Sting did, and you just go, I'm going toe to toe with him. Like I'll lose because Sting lost to Vader multiple times. Like because he's Vader, he's a monster, but I'm going to get back up when he knocks me down, and I'm going to come back after him, and I'm not going to be afraid to jump him in the locker room after the fight. You know what I mean? And they did a lot of scenes where Sting would come back and just fucking start beating him up, and it's like. Usually that's Vader attacking someone in the locker room, but it's fucking Sting getting pissed because he got pinned. Like, it's like, I love it. And like, so that's what they need to start doing in the women's division, where you'll start seeing multi-layers in that division. Because for a long time, the women were kind of on the same level. You had the stars and they all not looked the same, but they acted the same, right? Like now it's like you have these different personalities. You have all these different things. I want to see how good Jade's gotten. Rhea is amazing. Nia, they're fucking, somebody woke up and they're like, what if we just have her beat Chicks up? Yes. Okay, good. Like, we'll do that. Like, and it's like, how hard was that, man? But Vince, I think before, he's like, no. It needs to be tamed. You need to stop her from botching. It's like, you're never going to stop it. That's who she is. Like, and I'm not saying I want her to hurt someone and drop them on their head, but like, she busts someone's lip open. Okay. What's the problem, man? Like, let's do it. Let's just go crazy. Like you said, after she did that with Becky, that should have been Becky's first opponent. Was Nia
they should have
and
just
Becky.
kept her that
like,
way.
Yeah.
They should have just
When
kept
they were
Nia
both
and just
red hot,
steamrolling
they
through
should have just,
everybody. Just give her another title run. I'm ready for
I'm
it.
excited anyway. Like, I just hope it's not tainted. I hope we have a good, nice road to WrestleMania, and I hope WrestleMania is fine because it's the highlight of my year, and we all need happiness in a good road to WrestleMania. Like,
Well,
let's just
NXT's gonna be on
fucking
this
go.
Sunday, so if you want to just watch some good wrestling, and
Yeah,
forget
you're
about
big at
wrestling.
NXT.
And if things keep going the way it's going, like the whole NXT roster might just be all of WrestleMania.
yeah,
Yeah.
They might
Is that
just
in
change the name to
Chattanooga?
NXT. It might not be WWE anymore. It might just be NXT.
Is it a pay per view this
Mania?
weekend?
I'm sorry. Yeah, this weekend.
Is it a pay-per-view this weekend?
Sunday PLE. Yep.
What is it?
Vengeance Day.
Oh,
That's right, Vengeance. Yeah.
Yep.
Day.
And it's already looking pretty goddamn good. So.
And it's Finn Balor and
No, Finn Balor's.
I'm just kidding. It is
Is it
Seth
Corbin?
Rollins
Corbin and
Bo Dallas.
That's trick, bud.
No.
Baron Corbin and Braun Breaker have been like a tag team lately too.
Yeah,
They've
they're
been kinda
the
funny.
Wolf Dogs. That shit's fucking hilarious, dude.
Yeah, they've been kind of
They
funny.
apparently
together.
said they were super surprised and happy with Trick Williams' crowd pop.
Oh yeah, on SmackDown.
Last
Dude,
week.
Yes, yeah.
He's so over, and thanks to fucking Booker T too on that too. Just because.
Okay.
What?
Oh, whoop that trick.
Yeah.
Oh, and McAfee
I like
McAfee's
it.
permanently on Raw now with Cole.
What's up?
I saw that.
McAfee's
He's got
permanently
some
on
work to
Raw
do.
now?
He doesn't know the product.
Who? I'm sorry.
McAfee, he
Pat
called the
McAfee.
Rumble, and he's
Yep.
the new voice of Raw.
Yeah.
He's a new.
And
Him
by
and
the
Cole
way,
are.
first of all, I'm going to preface by saying this. I love McAfee, so I listen to him every day, and I watch him every day. He did not get a pop on Raw when he came out.
I think people were a little
to call.
pissed about the Rumble spot, but
But it's not his
Nah,
fault
Could be
though.
true.
No, it's not, but
they booked
doesn't
him
matter.
for it. Like they had to burn.
Well, no, they
burn
didn't
the
book
number.
him for it. Like what people don't understand is that like Lesnar got pulled. Breaker was already going to be in the Rumble, and so they just gave him Brock's spot.
Yes.
So he eliminated and did all the spot that Brock were going to do. So McAfee had to fill that. Like, so anyone they brought, he didn't steal anyone's spot. They would have just pulled someone up from NXT and they're like, you're out in 6 seconds. So
Yep.
it doesn't matter. Like, I'd much rather them do that with McAfee and make a funny thing about it than bring someone from NXT who gets pressed by almost in 30 seconds and thrown right out. Like, that's all that was going to happen. That's what happened. Like, Brock and Breaker were going to face off in the Rumble. That was the plan. So when Brock got eliminated or like taken out, they were like, we're going to put Breaker and he's going to be the Brock
This is
spot,
why-
meaning
this is why we
anything
don't trust
he was
the-
going to do.
this is why we don't trust the dirt sheets
Yeah.
because the dirt sheets also said
So
that.
McAfee was just in there filling Breaker's spot. Not that Breaker was only going to be in there for 30 seconds, but you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
they're just like, we have an extra spot. It'd be funny if he got up a la Jerry Lawler, like Jerry Lawler did a few years ago when he got up and he got clotheslined out and he's like, what happened? And Jim Ross like, you're gone. You got thrown out. He's like, they didn't like, and that, so it was supposed to be similar to that. Like,
I
that's
also
what they
love
did.
that it tells
Last
that it
minute.
shows that they booked the Rumble. It takes a couple weeks to book it. Like it's not something that happens that afternoon. Like
Right. Yeah.
it's
Well,
a
so
they
very
didn't- they-
interwoven.
yeah.
like,
if you believe
they just knew
McAfee,
they
he-
needed-
he said on his show that no one literally told me he's all they just played my music and I was like what?
It's fucking funny.
And then the other well,
So
I
I'm
mean,
going in, Cole. Like when he was sitting there, he's like, am I doing this? And he's like, I guess you're going to do it. So
That's-
fine.
someone told him in his ear, like,
it
"Don't
was
go in,
awkward.
just
It was
eliminate
kind of
yourself."
awkward.
It
yeah.
was.
So
because he wasn't dressed.
because
like,
supposedly
fuck.
Brock was supposed to get eliminated by Dominic, like how Braun did.
Yes, and work with Dominic
yeah,
on the
yeah.
chamber.
So yeah, I
Who's
don't know.
Brock? Who?
Supposedly was
I'm not
going to
familiar
be.
with.
But I have to say,
Benoit?
dude, like, what a strong showing. Like, he didn't mess it up. By the way, Braun Breaker, like, he hit every fucking
dude,
mark.
He looked like an
And
animal.
he looked awesome in there. He looks like his fucking father. I can't stop.
just want
Like, every
him
time I
to
look at him,
win.
I'm
I
like,
just
Jesus
want him
I
to
know,
Christ,
and
dude.
don't hate me. I haven't watched a lot of his NXT work, but I'm not sold on him, and I will.
Well,
I know
because
I
you haven't
will.
watched
and
a
I-
lot of his
He's
NXT work,
physically,
right?
he's like
He's got it.
physically and like the performance in the ring. He's Scott and Rick together. Like
He
it's
is.
crazy. Like to watch him.
When he cuts
But
his promos,
he just
he's
needs to
Scott.
find. He needs to find his character. Yeah, he sounds like Scott. It's crazy. You close your eyes, it's Scott. Like
I'm the
way
big
he, like,
badass out here. Like
yeah, the way
he
he
comes out,
stumbles through
dude, I
shit,
love
like
it.
it's great. But I mean, he's got to find a character that connects with the main audience. I think that's why they're having him do comedy spots with what's his fuck
Corbin.
over in NXT.
Barone.
Corbin,
Dude, him
yeah,
and
because
those spots have been great. They've been.
they're
doing
trying to
great.
work like they want him relaxed, and I think that's when you find your character is when you're relaxed, and so they're working on him. You know, he's got all the potential in the world. There's only upsides.
If you see like the interactions with the backstage segments with him and Braun or Baron for Braun, you could already see his personality is the real Braun Breaker.
He's getting it,
personality
like,
is
he's
coming out.
understanding,
And
yeah,
it's
'cause, like,
already that fast.
he'll laugh at Baron Corbin. Corbin will do something. He's like, "What'd you say? So you meant this?" He's like, "Yeah," like, and he's just like laughing or whatever. Like, so they're learning. He's learning like what Asuka did. You know, like when finally she started being funny when she was with the Kabuki Warriors, and they were both being like tongue in cheek. Like Vince liked that. Vince was like, "Oh, like now you get our product." Shinsuke, I think I said it before a couple weeks ago when he came out with Boogs. Shinsuke started getting it. He was like, "Oh, okay." Like they want me to be a little bit of a clown first, and then they can repackage me. So I mean,
Boogs.
Shinsuke might be a little far gone, and he's old too. You know, he's injured and he's been around years. But yeah, like this is what Braun Breaker needs to do is realize this little voice, this kind of lightheartedness where we can relate to him, so if he starts doing some funny things or whatever, we're like, oh, I get that guy, I like that guy, like, so I think there's nothing but upside for him. He's gonna be a fucking huge star.
I want him to be the one
someday.
that beats Roman, but I don't know.
You did say that too back in the day.
It's not gonna happen because Solo's gonna come in and lift us up all slow and do some bullshit.
Yeah.
It's gonna-
Yeah. All right,
was gonna
gentlemen,
happen
should we
on
call it?
every
55?
match.
Craig got offended by that. So
I did.
Yeah, Craig's he's upset.
It upset me. I gotta go. Thank you.
all right, yeah,
Good stuff. All right, we'll see you at the
we're trying to
matches.
Rebound, yeah. See you at the matches. Vengeance
Try to rebound
on Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday NXT.
NXT, best wrestling promotion every week.